Methodologies, that was Earl's score. Right?
Yeah.
I admit to that. It was just, I lean this way, I lean that way. You could choose what you want. Because if I'm talking about iterating and learn, I have to have the skills. And this is where I might, disagree with Jenny's disagreeing. If I'm about to iterate and learn, I have to have the skills to learn in the iteration. I can't have the skills just to iterate. I have to have the skills to learn from that iteration. And I see project after project, team after team, company after company, say they're iterating, say they're doing, but none of them are learning. They're just iterating.
Often probably because they're not actually doing what you call value paths.
Or anything to help them learn. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in order to learn, one has to actually say, I'm going to build this chunk. Now, maybe it takes more than one sprint to build something that our stakeholders or customers are going to be super excited about. But, 2 sprints in, I can at least start to show them something that means something to them, right? That's what, at least for me, when I go into Agile organizations, that's what I'm really looking for is, are you incrementally building something that allows you to truly get deep customer feedback?
If that's how you're going to learn, right? And in my waterfall, you have to have the people that are going to put the models, the abstraction of that reality, which basically all model is the abstraction of the reality you could build in software. We're going to extract that out to an abstraction level and allow them to present that in such a way that the stakeholders can understand what that reality is telling them, the models are telling them, and can still do that learning. You have to have that skill. But if you just say, oh, we're going to capture requirements in natural language documents from whatever the customer says, what are you learning? Nothing. You're learning how to take orders and how to write.
Yeah. What tipped me over into the Agile world really early was just sort of that recognition. By this time, I'd been at Construx for a while. I'd been doing assessments at Construx for a while. And you'd gone into organization after organization after organization. And, every organization's a little bit different and the things show up differently. But honestly, most of the time we would see requirements problems, project planning problems, quality practice problems, and estimation problems. And I came out of that going, as an overall industry, we really suck at requirements. And if we really suck at requirements, then something agile that allows us to learn as we go and course correct is probably going to be better for us, because then we do have the opportunity, like my customer stakeholder revolt example, to say, oh, let's work together in partnership to steer ourselves to a successful outcome. Right. And I completely agree with Earl that if you have fantastic people at doing requirements, you can, especially if you're in the land of known unknowns, right? You can do a lot of that upfront work to understand the known unknowns and set yourself on a path that's going to be incredibly successful. I just have seen very few organizations that have the skills to do that well.
I think that's, to me, one of the biggest issues. I think the skill of modeling is more rare than the skill of showing code to a stakeholder that has value.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I just think there's few of those. And this is where